Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this maxi dress. I wanted to give the impression that there is a top and a bottom, that it's a two-piece set. So let's get started. You will need a dress that fits you or a tank top. I'm going to show you two ways, and you will need to mark up where is your waist on the dress or on your tank top. Alright, so now we are going to make the pattern, and we are going to start with the top bit because it's the same for the dress or the tank top, whether you're using either one of them. And you're going to fold your dress or your tank top lengthwise in half, just like so, and you're going to place it on your piece of paper. You need to make sure that everything is laying flat, and then you can trace all around the top bit from the top to your marking on the waist. Make sure that you're tracing as well, you're marking where your neckline will be. Once you're done tracing all around, you can remove your dress or your tank top, and you need to close up your top. So you're going to draw a straight line to close it from the side to the center front. So next you're going to draw your neckline, and you're going to draw a curve from the top of your shoulder to the marking you've made earlier on from when you traced the pattern. My dress had a V neckline, but I wanted a round one, so I'm just going to round it off, but give the shape that you want to your neckline. Alright, so the next thing to do is to add seam allowance. So I'm going to add 1 centimeter on the bottom. I'm going to add nothing on the center front. That's because I traced my pattern with my dress on the fold. So I will have to put my pattern piece on the fold to have a full pattern piece. And I'm going to write it on my piece of paper, so I will remember to put it on the fold on my fabric. I'm going to add 1 centimeter on my shoulder seam. And I'm going to add 0.5 centimeter on the armhole and the neckline, and 1 centimeter on the side. Once your pattern is all cut out, we need to separate the front from the back. So you're going to take another piece of paper, and you're going to lay the pattern you just made on top of it. Now you're going to need to trace all around it again, and that's going to be your back piece. Once you're done tracing all around there, you have this, and all you need to do is add seam allowance on the back neckline, and on your front piece you can cut off all around the neckline on the front, and that will give you your front piece. That way you don't have to do the job twice. It's an easy way to just do it. Next we are going to trace the rest of the dress. So you're going to put your dress back on a piece of paper on the fold, and you're going to trace all around the rest of the dress from the marking on your waist to the bottom. Once you're done with the tracing, you need to add seam allowance on the top, so 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter on the side. You are leaving the center front alone because it was on the fold, and you will need to put your pattern on the fold when you're cutting it. And for the hem, I'm putting a 1-inch hem, or 2.5 centimeter. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to make the skirt part if you're only having a tank top. So you need a piece of paper, and you're going to put a straight line that is running alongside the long edge of your paper, and it needs to be quite centered. On the top of the page, I am going to run a straight line across my first line, and that's going to be my waistline. I'm going to put half of my waist measurement, and I'm going to center it from my center line, so that way everything is centered. And then from that waistline, 8 inches across, I'm going to draw another straight line that is parallel from my waistline, and that is going to be my hip line. For anybody, if you are looking for the hip line, it's 8 inches down from the waistline. And now I'm going to put half of my hip measurement. I'm putting half measurements because I will have to cut 2 pieces of fabric, so half and half will make my full measurement. And there, the last line there is my finish length. So basically it's waist to finish length, whatever length you want your dress to finish. Next, I'm going to connect with a straight line my hip to finish length, like so. And to finish, I'm going to connect my hip to my waistline with a curve. And I'm going to make sure that it's a nice curve, that is not tipping too much, that is not giving me too much of a point. Just like so. Next, I'm going to add seam allowance. So I'm putting a centimeter on the top, a centimeter on the side, and 2.5 for the hem, or an inch. Then you can cut your pattern to make sure it stays symmetrical. I'm putting my pattern on the fold and I'm cutting through the 2 layers of paper, so that way I'm sure the 2 sides are the same. Alright, so let's make a dress. I'm going to start with the bottom because it's the easiest. For the fabric, you should have a stretchy fabric. I'm using a jersey, a light t-shirt in fabric, and you should have a 2 or 4 way stretch. Mine is a 2-way stretch, and you need to make sure the stretch is going across your body from sides to sides and not from top to bottom. And you're going to start by taking your 2 pieces for the skirt and put them right sides together, and we are going to connect them with a zigzag stitch. So you need a small zigzag stitch if you're using a regular sewing machine, and we are going to connect them at the side seams. Alright, so once you're done, you can hem your skirt as well. I have put a 1-inch hem line on mine, so just fold your fabric over 1 inch and then sew it together. And make sure you stretch your fabric as you sew. It's going to make it a lot easier for you. So moving on to the top. So for this effect, this folded effect on the front all around to work, you need a lining. Without a lining, it won't really work. So I have cut a front and a back, just as it is on the pattern, and that's going to be my lining. I'm going to connect them together, right sides together, at the side seam and at the shoulder seam with a zigzag stitch. Now for the outer layer, it's the same pattern I'm using, but I'm going to add 3 inches on length on the bottom. So I've cut a longer piece on the front and on the back, so that way it will fold over when the lining and the outer layers are connected together. So just add on your pattern piece, you add 3 inches, and the same thing, you're going to connect them at the side and at the shoulders. So now what you should have is 2 tank tops basically. You should have a short one and a long one. And what we are going to do is connect them together so we can treat them as one. So to do that, you're going to put one tank top inside the other and make sure that the wrong sides are facing each other. So basically you will have the pretty side of your fabric facing on either side. So that way it will make it a lot more prettier as well and tidy. What you're going to do is pin all around the armhole and the neckline. Make sure that all the seams are matching up each other. So next you're going to connect the 2 pieces together, and you're going to sew all around the armhole and the neckline with this very small zigzag stitch. You're going to connect them together so close to the edge, because otherwise your stitching will show later on, and that's just going to connect them together. So next we are going to connect the 2 bottoms of our tank tops together, and we are going to match them up together. So of course you will have one that is longer than the other, so make sure to keep this excess fabric away from your stitching line, because we need this to be free. Once it's all pinned up together, you can sew around just to attach them together for later on. Next we are going to connect the bottom and the top together. So I'm keeping the bottom wrong sides out and the top right side out. And I'm going to connect them. So I'm going to put the top inside the skirt pit. And I'm going to make sure that the excess fabric is staying away from the stitching line. And I'm going to match up the side seams together and then pin everything together. And I'm going to sew all around with a zigzag stitch and a 1 centimeter seam allowance. So that's how it looks like when the 2 parts are connected together. And the next thing to do, and last thing, is to hem the neckline or the armhole. You could add some bias binding if you wish to. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, why not leaving me a thumbs up? And if you're not already, you can subscribe for more videos. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.